Hello, this is my class J15 IP2F. It's a late BR class. There's something wrong with it. It keeps on stopping and going, stopping and going. I've already taken it apart. I've taken the top bit of the tender off. I think you can install a speaker in it because this bit comes off as well. And I've also disconnected because there's a little wire there and it screws on, and there's a little screw just there. And I've also taken the top off. Don't know if you can quite see, but there's a little screw there. And also underneath, there are two screws underneath, you can see just there. You're left with, I can't quite take this bottom bit off. Also managed to take this bit off. That's the pickup bit. It's got the pickups on the edge there. And then you've got two little spikes there where the electricity comes to. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. I think these wheels come off. This is basically the motor itself. I've also just noticed if I turn it on that motor, see there's a little white line and there's a number 1 and there's number 2 on that bit there, and there's number 3 there, there's number 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you see, I'm taking completely apart. There was two screws, just one there and one there, which I took off. Didn't really seem to do anything. So now there's 4 housing screws which holds the motor on. 1, 2, 3 and 4, which I'm now going to take off, and I'm going to see what happens from there. So I've undone those 4 screws. Take that off carefully. Trouble with these tiny little bits, you don't lose any time these tiny little bits. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Never force anything. Just gently pull. I'm not sure if this comes off. I'm gently pull it, but I'm not going to force it. As I suspected, if I get these 2 wires, maybe if I do it this way, if I put a wire at the bottom there, get it to reach the bottom bit there, as you can hear the so what I need to work out, because the motor does work, so I think I need to disconnect maybe 2 wires somewhere. Then if I can maybe disconnect 2 of the wires, because there's like 4 wires going to there, I think I need to disconnect 2 of them, because like 2 of them are for the tender. That's the tender there, and that white plug there plugs into that socket just there. Quite set, but there's a little white socket there, and so I think I need to get. I don't really need this tender. Well, not for the electronic parts anyway. All the electronic parts I don't need it, so I can kind of get rid of that. So I'll come back in a minute. Now what I've done, I've been following some advice from the Hornby forum. Colin, also from the Hornby forum, said to reconnect the motor to the tender, which I have. There's a small little wire, I'll show you in a minute, but it said the motor should run. That little white plug there, I've reconnected. So far so good. I was thinking of blanking off the tender, but Chris also from the Hornby forum said that's a bad idea because there are extra pickups on the tender and I need extra pickups. Need to test. Don't know if it's quite difficult to do. Very fiddly. Don't know if you saw that, but there's two little wires right in the middle there where to touch to make sure that works, and you saw that works. There's a little diagram from Chris. Colin said about this, but Chris made a little diagram. I took the photo, but Chris made a better diagram of it. Here it is. Here it's that one and that one, and then also test that one. So it's basically that one, that one, that one and that one. Chris also said try the wheel pickups, but it's a bit difficult to get the pickups, so I'll try the wheels because the wheels are touching the wheel pickups, so that should also work. Oops. Yeah, well they're all working. Yeah, that's all working. So now I think it's just a matter of putting it all back together now. Okay, I think I've tested everything now. Basically I need to put all that back together to make it look like something like this. Make it look like something like that. So here goes. First things first, try to put this motor back. And I've got this tiny, you can actually see, but there's a tiny little bit here which has got to go connect the motor to the cogs. So let's have a go at that. This tiny little bit called a pivot pin drive shaft, and it's number 3 on the spares list. Okay, I managed to get a little pivot in that. Don't know how you can see it, but that just there. That me took 10 to 15 minutes to get that tiny little bit in just there. Now I've got to put the brackets over the see that tiny bit just there, right in the middle there. That's the pivot. It goes from the motor to the cogs. That's actually a really fiddly bit. Like I just said, I've got to do the brackets on the motor. It's going to be done everything. The one of the brackets is already on. I don't know. There's a little bracket just there. Quite difficult to say, but there is actually a bracket on there. I've got to put. There's one both ends. I've got one to put there as well. So I've got to put that on as well. I've got 4 tiny little screws here. Make sure these are the 4 screws that hold the motor in. Like the motor clamps. Now a little fiddly job to do. Wheel set back on. Trouble is, you've got these little clips here, and they have got to fit in there. Those 6 little clips on the wheels and those 3 axles got to fit right in there, right on the edge. So let's have some fun here. See if I can try and fix this now. Nearly done that. Something like that. I'll just redo it better though. You get the idea. I don't know how well you can see that, but something like that. So those little metal round clip things are in line, so they help to keep the wheels fairly straight. Now I've got to put the cover on it. It's going to be one fiddly job after another. Don't know how well you can see. This is the bottom, and you've got these little pickups here on the side. They've got to go back on here and very carefully. It's got to go back down there very carefully. Now I've got to push this on and screw it all up very carefully. Push it so I don't bend any of the pickups. Now I've pushed it all together. Now hopefully it's just a matter of doing up these 2 little screws. Now I'm going to, as Colin said, don't put the body on just for a few days, just see how it goes. I'm going to put the tender on as well, and I'm not going to put the body on the tender, so it'll just be a bit of a locomotive out its top, so it might look a bit silly, but we'll just see how it goes the next few days. Okay, test time. That's the body and shell next to it, so let's see if it goes. and let's do reverse. Okay, well let's put some wagons on it and see how that goes. Okay, let's try it backwards. Well, that's me fixing my J15 locomotive. I hope that's done the trick. What I could do, one last thing, let's see, is that a good idea? Oh, something's come undone already. I haven't fixed the body onto the chassis of the loco or the tender. I'll just put it, it's just sitting on top of it. I haven't done any screws or anything like that, it's just sitting on top of it. Anyway, so that's me fixing my third loco. I think the first one was, I can't remember it, first one, but second one, what was the second one? I can't remember the second one neither. Anyway, so I think you get the idea. I know the Highland van was just stopped. I think the track broken, it's come undone, and so anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed me fixing my third loco. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.